With 40 PSVR2 games and some DLC on sale, be sure to check those chapters, and don't forget to check out that other PlayStation Black Friday sale with 16 more PSVR2 games ending at the exact same time until December 1st. Become the iconic Zula Hendrix, an ex-colonial marine originally featured in Dark Horse Comics.
There's no easy way to say this. I found exactly what I was looking for on Parole. Full-blown investigation.
As she makes her return in Alien Rogue Incursion, and it's currently 65% off. Over 2,200 people have rated it 4.49 out of 5 stars, with 88% of the audience giving it 4 or 5 out of 5. With her ever-present synth companion Davis-01 for guidance, Zula must infiltrate the infested Gemini Exoplanet Solutions research facility and survive the threat of the most cunning xenomorphs ever encountered using stealth and serious firepower at her disposal. The authentic atmosphere and innovative VR gameplay features will have you get into the action with gameplay that uses your body as the input. Along with true-to-life motions like opening doors and picking up objects, you also have full-body in-game physical presence for holstering and loading weapons, accessing inventory, turning on lights, and much more. And you'll need all that confidence against these xenomorphs who behave just like their cinematic counterparts, actively hunting you throughout locations, crawling through ducts and tunnels, and jumping on and climbing objects within the world. Oh, that sounds truly awesome, and from what I understand, the game has received a few patches now that addressed a lot of the issues that were present at launch, so I do think this game is good to go. If you're like me and already own a racing wheel, don't think, just grab this magnificent Mario Kart clone in VR with Galaxy Kart, because it's currently 75% off right now. Over 570 people have rated it 3.97 out of 5 stars, with 74% of the audience giving it 4 or 5 out of 5. And what's really cool to hear is that this is one of the 19 natively compatible games for the bHaptics tack suit and tack sleeves, placing you directly inside the kart, as you can now feel that motor throughout your body. The power-ups now projected from your arms through your controller, and you'll even feel your back being hit from behind when racing towards that finish line. So kick-ass. And to make the experience absolutely perfect, this now supports every steering wheel to work with this game. Yes, I said that right. Every steering wheel works with this game. And again, since I'm using that force feedback wheel, this will not use force feedback in the game. It doesn't have that, rattling sensation when I'm hitting the wall or a certain part of the track. What happens is you have tension when you're taking a turn. You actually feel that resistance. Oh! I do love how there's tension in the wheel. That's very cool. And when you release the wheel, it snaps right back to the neutral position, which is absolutely what you want in a game like this. And combine that with using your brake and your pedal and holding one controller, you can easily steer and hold that controller with both hands using 2 fingers, as you're seeing right here, and shoot everybody at the same time without compromising any of the steering whatsoever. It really is Mario Kart in VR. Honestly, guys, the game has 18 unique courses to choose from, 6 tournaments, which wasn't even out when I did my video, 11 characters with their own unique skills. Again, each one has their own weapon. And right now there are 9 power-ups for everyone to utilize, again, with that unique ability that each character has on their own that no one else can have. And of course, there are 4 levels of difficulty. This is very important because, again, with 18 courses, this single-player campaign before was 9 or 10. I had played for a few hours by myself on normal mode, and that's not even touching the hard or challenge mode. So I gotta say, I didn't even get to play online with anybody, and I'm sitting here touting this as an amazing game, as you're seeing on screen me having a blast. I'm not expecting, oh my god, that was scary! Sorry, no balls. Even though I love Mario Kart, this has now spoiled me from going back because I never had the same sense of speed, control, or immersion like I do when playing Galaxy Kart VR. For real. Especially when using that steering wheel and the PSVR2 Sense controller, coupled with my feet pressing the gas and brake pedals, feels so unreal and instantly fun to pick up and play. Now, the only real negative here is that the player base is not there yet, so the online appears vacant for me, but it's there. You just have to coordinate with some friends online and all should be good to go. Either way, this game is an absolute blast and is seriously worth getting on sale just for the single player as you unlock all the characters. And it'll only get better when more people own this game and play it online, as it's truly one of my favorite VR games of all time. And yet another surprise hit. Rainbow Reactor Fusion rewards your basketball skills in this extremely addictive color matching game. And it's currently 82% off, but if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 87% off total. Over 140 people have rated it 4.49 out of 5 stars, with 89% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. And I can totally understand why, because this game is completely polished and pick up and play awesomeness. I knew this was a remastered version, but I never played the original, so my expectations were kind of low, but wow. That looks realistic. It really does. I couldn't believe how good this looked in that massive factory setting, giving that awesome sense of scale. Truly, guys, this is instant pick up and play, where you're just thrown into this beautiful factory and you're supposed to clean it up essentially in between playing these basketball oriented color matching games. One rail on each side, the right and the left. A ball comes down and you have to grab it before it drops to the floor. You've got 3 misses. If a ball hits the ground, one of those misses happens. So that's how you lose essentially. Or if one of the balls goes out of bounds, and that can be from throwing it out of bounds, or if the court or the grid is essentially full of these balls all over the place and your ball bounces off one of them, that can go out of bounds there. So you are trying to keep that grid as clean as possible, getting as many combos as possible, but also setting up the colored combos. Again, super simple stuff. All these color matching games have been around forever, but not in the VR medium this way. Again, shooting basketballs into this area is so satisfying. I'm going to show you guys just in my headset. That is incredible. What I absolutely loved is they didn't spend too much time on this factory stuff, just enough to get you to walk around and, feel like you're in a factory doing the jobs, but it's all about the basketball. And I say that literally, that's exactly what it feels like to me. And I have to say, I'm really proud of myself. I just recently beat the story mode, all 9 levels. And I gotta say, the challenge in this game has a perfect difficulty curve. And after you play that story mode, I started playing the arcade mode, and that has its own unique set of objectives and things to do. It's so neat, guys. And I do want to tell everybody, highly recommend that you play this like basketball. So when you're holding your controller over your head like this, and then you go to flick, and just like basketball, the more that you push off, the farther the ball will go. The less power you put in, the shorter distance, it just lobs forward. Feels so good. I did find having my wrist this way, vertically forward, like naturally facing forward like you would hold the controller, was bang on. So yes, I do recommend right away just practicing forward like this, and you'll see how precise, how rewarding hitting those spots that you're trying to hit. Getting those combos, it's just exhilarating, honestly. So it feels like a mix match of like 3-point competition, where these balls are just rolling towards you on the left and the right side on those racks. And then near the end of level 9, man, you're just like in this flow where you're just taking the ball and you're firing one after the other. It was insanely, incredibly hard, but so much fun. It actually took me many tries to get through that last level. With the PSVR2 room scale perfect tracking, I gotta say, the dream has come true. And this is a testament of how transformative sports titles will be in VR. No joke. This makes exercise fun again, and I highly recommend you get this game, especially at that awesome sale price. Walkabout Mini Golf continues to impress all around, with new DLC being released on the regular, and now they've permanently included 6 DLC courses as part of the base game, and it's currently 40% off. And for those of you that already own the base game, you will automatically gain access to those 6 courses without requiring additional purchases to own this content. But the regular price has now increased to reflect this. And for those of you with a PlayStation Plus Premium or Deluxe membership, heads up, the base game is no longer a part of your catalog as of May 20th, so this may be the time to get it. Escape into a fun and beautiful world filled with the best mini golf courses you've ever seen. Play by yourself, meet someone new, or challenge your friends in a private game with up to 8 people. With extremely realistic physics, you're going to create the perfect experience for hardcore golfers and casual players alike. This entire base game has 8 unique 18-hole courses to master, and each one has the ability to unlock night mode for more challenging versions of all courses. Again, you can play solo 1 versus 1 online quick matches, or you can create a private room with up to 8 players, and with that private room, every player can play on your course. If you own all of the DLC in this game, everyone can participate. They just can't do any of the treasure hunts or use any of the special putters that they've accumulated and play in your course. And of course, they cannot play and practice on the course until they buy it themselves. You're going to collect over 188 custom balls hidden throughout the entire game. As well, you can solve these treasure hunts on each hard course to earn special putters. The game totally supports cross-play, which allows every VR user to play, meaning that you'll never be alone playing this game. And to fit all playstyles, you can teleport, use smooth locomotion, or fly around on your putter like a witch on a broomstick. And then you've got these custom avatars featuring lip sync and a quadrillion plus combinations. Almost 2,500 people have rated it 4.63 out of 5 stars, with 90% of the audience giving it 4 or 5 out of 5. And here's a quick look at all of the DLC courses now included with the base game. Sweetopia, Laser Lair, Shangri-La. Upside Town. Jules Verne's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Elfheim, Land of the Elves. But if you want to get even more courses for Walkabout Mini Golf, you can get Jules Verne's Around the World in 80 Days at 50% off. The next course is a classic. This is Atlantis, and it's 50% off. And yet another creatively cool course. This is Venice, and it's 50% off. And the last DLC course available for Walkabout Mini Golf, this is Raptor Cliffs, and it's 50% off as well. With 3 new levels added to one of my favorite games of all time. Stilt is the closest thing to Super Mario 64 in VR, and it's currently 50% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 55% off total. Over 430 people rated it 4.48 out of 5 stars, with 89% giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. And me giving this 5 out of 5 hands down, because this game is a masterpiece. The 4K HDR OLED display absolutely makes this game look beautiful. On top of that, you've got a native 120 frames per second, which makes this game feel absolutely real when you're inside. There's no jitter, no stutter whatsoever. This is the first true Super Mario Bros. In VR. Unlike an Astrobot, a Ven VR, or a Max Mustard, you are actually the player in the game at full life size, and that changes the formula completely. You know, seeing a little floating dude in front of you as you're controlling him has always been fun for me, don't get me wrong. I've always enjoyed that, but you being that dude in game, having to bounce around on these skinny platforms and using these stilts, unlike hitting a button where you're just pressing that and you jump, or you press and hold and it jumps longer. The amount of precision, the amount of control you have with them. And I highly recommend when you get this game, don't start off bouncing around like this, just lift your arms up. There are no legs to your avatar, so when you do this, all of a sudden your body's on the ground, and then you just push yourself off like this and practice doing that. Even the littlest flicks from the ground, you'll just get the smallest amount of jumps. The absolute precision you get from these controls are masterful. Honestly, I never thought just moving around at all times in a game was total fun, like jumping on a trampoline.
Look at the incredible control, just the lightest little flick. See? Stick my stilt out and hold like this. And again, you don't have to jump from spot to spot because of the gorilla tag. Look, you just literally do this. So much easier, man. The controls are phenomenal. Such an awesome game. Now that said, I do have to get over... Oh, see that? Awesome. Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool.
And that said, when you go to jump really high and a wall is in front of you, do be sure when you flick those wrists, turn them sideways like this. The reason is because if your stilts are facing forward, you're just going to push off the wall. And that's a good thing, because you're going to have to do wall jumps like classic Mario style, off a wall and off a wall again.
Oh, Mario wall jump! Oh my goodness. Oh, that is messed up. Ah.
It's been so long since I've experienced the game with that classic Nintendo feel, but do it absolutely beautifully, perfectly actually, and then reinvent the wheel with the new control scheme.
I don't even know. Like, so okay to the right. Oh man.
And I keep comparing this to Mario 64. This game does have 20 levels to explore. And just like classic Mario style, each world has a whole plethora of stamps filled throughout the entire level. You're encouraged to collect them because the more stamps you collect, the more that you can actually one-up and then keep coming back into that world and continue. And each world has stars like in Mario, but they're called gifts. So same idea, you collect these gifts in each world, that way you can open up another section of the overworld, which is the island, and it contains another section of worlds to play in. And that overworld is just like the Mario castle with the paintings, but instead of paintings, these are mailboxes that are just sitting around that island that you go to. And those levels do have these little hidden caves. If you think about pipes in Mario where you go into a specific pipe and then you've got this little underworld area to discover, there are those caves in this game where you have these challenges and a gift locked in there. And when I compare this to the original Super Mario Brothers, the challenges, I've never experienced anything like this in VR, honestly guys. The creativity, the level design, the music, the controls, the sense controllers, the headset haptics,
Beautiful.
Everything is completely polished. Even at the end of each world, just like classic Mario World 1-1, unlike hitting a pole at the end of each stage in Mario Brothers where you run, jump, try to get to the highest point and then you drop on that flag. And this one, you're seeing a bunch of balloons lined up to a top yellow balloon with a crown on it, and you've got 3 seconds to get up and hit that crown. It's quite difficult. Again, like Mario 64, you'd collect 100 coins and you get like a free star. In this game, on the left side, you're seeing on the pause menu here, or at the end of the stage, there's a certain amount of stamps that you have to collect and keep until you reach the end of the stage in order to get that actual gift. And the gift on the right side is awarded for completing the stage within a set time limit. Just like Mario 1 again, the time counts upwards, it's not counting down, so really bizarre, but old school awesomeness. And then at the bottom you can see this line with these 4 icons. It's actually bronze, silver, gold, and that's the actual time you need to get that gift reward on the right side there, and then platinum, which is not a gift, it's a medal, and you do want to collect all of those medals in order to get the platinum trophy in the game. The game does include an assist mode if you find the challenges too overwhelming. I did not use it whatsoever, I plowed through it. I have not tested it, but I do know you can include more platforms, give yourself more power-ups, unlimited lives, all that stuff. You get to actually choose how you want to assist yourself. And then they include this multiplayer mode with a multitude of different game modes I've yet to even experience. So here I am telling you, this is my favorite VR platformer of all time, one of my favorite VR games of all time, if not one of my favorite games, truly, and no one seems to be talking about this the way that I feel. This is just seriously crazy how you have to use your absolute skill and precision at these crazy heights with these small little moving platforms. It's incredibly terrifying. It's really hard to describe if you're afraid of the heights. And again, like Mario Brothers, there are these power-ups that absolutely change the game completely. For instance, when you pick up the fireball, instead of bouncing around or using your stilts to bop them on the head, you just fire these fireballs out of your cannon. But unlike Mario where you're throwing them with a button, I'm actually firing with my trigger, feeling the adaptive trigger, and then it feels like it's lobbing them. And then you've got a propeller that'll help you just glide across a bunch of obstacles. And with those stamps that you're collecting to get 1-ups, you can use those stamps to actually purchase power-ups when you come back into the world. Guys, I haven't felt this way for decades, since like Mario 64 released on the N64. Such amazing controls that I've never seen in any other game. No matter how much talking I do or how many clips I show you, you will not understand until you're inside the game yourself and using your hands and feeling that precision as you're bouncing around. Just be sure to turn off the right stick in the settings, that way you can use your full body to turn to get the most immersive and precise controls possible. This pushes the whole VR medium in general to the next level. That's why I feel everyone needs to experience this game. And honestly, I can't believe it's already cheap to begin with, and then to see this at over half off, you absolutely need to get this game whether you love platformers or not.
Mayday pilot, enemy fighters are closing in. We need you vertical ASAP.
Before you experience the awesomeness of Aces of Thunder, which is apparently coming really soon, you can say big with the current #1 flight simulator on PSVR2.
Welcome back to Ultrawings, pilot.
Ultrawings is back and better than ever with Ultrawings 2, and it's 50% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 10% more, making it 60% off total. Over 820 people have rated it 4.32 out of 5 stars, with 85% giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. And right away, what I absolutely love about this game is that you have the option to use the HOTAS, hands-on throttle and stick. But because I didn't use the move controllers, when you're trying to select things on screen, you would use your head to roll over that icon and then select. And I'm assuming I'll have to do the exact same thing here, it only makes sense. Whereas with the PSVR2 Sense controllers, you will get those adaptive triggers, the Sense haptics, and the ability to hit the switches and fully interact in the cockpit. That said, that's how good having a HOTAS is, just having that real tactile object to grab with your real hands and have that total precision, I feel has always beaten the virtual sensation there, but I could be wrong, I've never played this before. Return to the skies in 6 all-new aircraft as you complete hundreds of missions across a beautifully stylized island-themed world. Their groundbreaking motion control system returns as you use your virtual hands to fully interact and control your aircraft. With enhanced haptics, you'll actually feel the action. You'll be unlocking new gameplay through this 40 to 60 hour game. 1 minute you'll be dogfighting enemy bogies in a World War II era warplane, and the next you'll be popping balloons with a dart pistol and the ultralight. Yeah, just throw me in the dogfight right away because that's why I'm going to be getting this game. And I believe just like the first game, you're going to have all of these mini islands with a series of challenges going on. But this game claims to be 3 times larger than the original game, and I thought the original was awesome to begin with. The sequel from the classic Rush of Blood from the PSVR1 comes the next generation of roller coaster arcade horror in the Dark Pictures Switchback VR, and it's currently 60% off. Almost 2,600 people have rated it 4.25 out of 5 stars, with 81% of the audience giving it 4 or 5 out of 5. And even though this is a great rating, it truly is hindered from a disastrous launch, with many claiming that it looked like a blurry PSVR1 game. I'm so glad I waited to actually play the game for that patch to come out and fix everything, and I can say I have played it all the way through since that patch, and yes, it is absolutely beautiful. Everything feels really smooth during the gameplay. I did not experience any of the stuff that people were originally reporting, so hands down, Supermassive Games, you totally fixed everything and made the game awesome. And I really feel compelled now, everyone out there who's heard other reviewers talk about Rush of Blood and how this didn't live up to it. I actually had the opposite experience. I loved Rush of Blood, man. I mean, loved it. And I feel this game is better. I really do. So maybe it's the theme for some people, but I played this after the patch and it felt like I was living in this virtual nightmare. The sound, the 3D audio, you know, is next gen on its own.
Oh, it sounds like somebody's right here, man. Right there whispering. I got a bit of chill.
To see the 4K HDR graphics.
Yep, that fire is incredible. Whoa!
Having my head touch actual branches with headset haptics.
Right on, seriously, I was just about to say.
Being in the dark, seeing these shadows fly around you.
Oh yes, that audio.
Seeing fire light up the room the way it did, it just like, you know, I almost felt the heat, no joke. Everything was so well done, so immersive. I really encourage anyone to get this game because all you need to do is just sit down throughout the entire experience. Again, this is for almost all ages.
What's this, times 10 and times 1? Oh, I see. So those are worth 10. And those little bottles are worth 1. Move your head to avoid obstacles. Oh, neat, guys. Oh, I took that in the head. I felt that too. That's nice.
And unlike Rush of Blood, the amount of times that I had jump scares in this game.
That was incredible. My whole body's still feeling the chills, man.
I do not remember that in Rush of Blood. I remember the entire experience was a lot of fun, arcade-like. This took the atmosphere to another level.
Oh, that's weird. Oh man, I want to look at the water, but I can't. That's awesome. Feel that. Nice.
And then they include, unlike Rush of Blood, a new Horde mode, and this is for free. It did not launch with the game, so if you do own it, you've never played this before, go in the PlayStation Store, look up Switchback VR, and then find that add-on pack for free. Do play this. This is a lot of fun.
Why would they build a research facility way out here?
Red Matter 2 is an award-winning immersive puzzle adventure, and it's currently 48% off right now. Over 2,200 people have rated it 4.83 out of 5 stars, with 97% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. That has got to be one of the best PlayStation Store ratings out there. Quite simply, this game has blown me away technically speaking, and has set the bar for what I expect a PSVR2 game can look and play like. And I am happy to report I've just completed it, and every moment in Red Matter 2 is utterly jaw-dropping. Just as a heads up, the story does kick off right after Red Matter 1, and I highly recommend you play that one first. And even though this trailer does show some action sequences, it's really about 5% of the game, and a few have commented in the past that they felt bored playing it, so I do have to manage expectations here. Personally, I had a blast with this entire game, and have to remind everyone that this really is an environmental puzzle-based game. So I don't even want to tell you anything about the story. It did make a lot of sense to me, part 1, and now it's making a lot more sense as I'm playing just the first hour of the game. I cannot get over just walking around ever so slowly using my full body to turn in room scale VR, and everything just feels absolutely smooth and seamless.
Like movement based on controller. Yes, this is what you do want for room scale VR. Otherwise, if you go by head, when you're moving forward and you turn your head, all of a sudden your guy's going to walk that way. It's not realistic. You want it on controller for every game. And just to point this out as a room scale walking example, if I move forward and keep my arms still straight, that's how I can still move forward and look around. The moment I turn my arm with my head, while pressing forward. That's what's turning me. It just feels like a next-gen experience, and you don't want to go back after that. You know, not using a right stick to turn at all. We don't do that in real life, you know what I'm saying? It's just natural to walk and look around. Wow. That's the hardest thing, guys. You really can't show people what this headset can do until they put it on. And again, you can talk about it all you want. But even myself, who's owned this for almost 2 years now, I still get blown away.
Let's go.
Assemble your party of miniatures, play action cards, and vanquish monsters with the roll of a die in this award-winning tactical tabletop RPG, Demeo. And it's 72% off. Over 820 people have rated it 4.54 out of 5 stars, with 89% of the audience giving it 4 or 5 out of 5. And just to reiterate, you can totally play this alone, which I did, or cooperatively featuring crossplay, which supports up to 4 players. And yes, I can already recommend this from my personal experience, and I've only played the single player mode. And oh my, I have to say, it checks all the boxes of not just hitting the nostalgia, but hitting the fun factor in a small, well put together, polished package. Because this is a board game experience, you are choosing your pawns, which is your class of character, which does come with its own set of cards uniquely to that class.
The Guardian
ready.
is your righteous tank. She can soak up a lot of damage and is deadly in melee. The Assassin
Death is my profession.
is a sneaky backstabbing bastard and also good with traps and bombs. The Sorcerer is of the lightning bolt flinging type, can also use his spells for crowd management. The Hunter.
I'm ready.
Well, she hunts, using bow and arrow, but she can also call on beasts from the wild for aid and charm monsters, amongst other things. But I'm thinking you just want to know how this little gem plays, right? Right. You can play Demeo in 2 ways. Either gang up with a few friends, 2 to 4 of you together for a nail-biting co-op run. Or go it alone in skirmish mode, where you'll control 3 champions.
It is time!
Planning your path through a floor and working together is a must if you hope to survive all the way to the end. You'll have to fight through several dusky floors of the Elven Necropolis. On each floor, there's a monster holding a key. You'll need that key to open the floor exit and proceed to the next floor below. And there'll be plenty of other monsters to fight along the way. The game is turn-based, which means all champions take a turn, spending action points to move, attack, open doors, and so on.
And what's really cool is that each class can only move a certain amount of spaces based on their speed, and they can roll that die once to attack generically, and that costs 1 action point.
You have 2 action points to spend each turn.
And notice the cost at the top of each card. Some of them don't cost anything, and you can use another card costing 1 action point.
And then the enemies do their thing. Attacks and card outcomes are resolved with a die roll. You'll either hit, do a crit. Crit means critical hit,
Which just means double damage.
and if you miss, your attack might hit something else nearby.
Including friends.
Spells, special attacks, and other items are all represented by cards. We've got potions that will heal you up or make you faster or stronger. There's a banish spell that'll teleport an enemy to a random spot. A barricade that you can use to create bottlenecks or even block off rooms. A repeating ballista. It'll shoot bolts into the monsters every turn until destroyed. A magic shield that'll halve all incoming damage. And much, much more. You'll start with a few cards on hand. You can find more in chests spread out across the floors. Or earn by defeating enemies and increasing your card meter. There's also gold for you to gather. I'll be here to greet you in between each floor. My bazaar comes fully stocked, and at bargain prices too. I'm happy to buy any card you don't want, at a reasonable price. Due to some wondrous wizardry, the monsters' loot, entry and exit points, and even the order of the many different floors is randomized. Every run is a fresh experience. It's up to you to coordinate with your friends on how to beat each floor, or at least survive it. Reaching the final boss isn't easy, and it's not meant to be. Beating that stinking abomination will earn you plenty of bragging rights. Until someone else does it faster, that is. So, get your friends together, choose your champions, dive in, and above all, have fun.
The clock tower's so important. Why stick it in the middle of the ocean?
Wait.
Clone your actions into endlessly repeating loops to build assembly lines and contraptions in this award-winning VR game, The Last Clockwinder, and it's currently 60% off. Over 590 people have rated it 4.4 out of 5 stars, with 86% giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. In this game, you revisit the clock tower as an adult, and it's an ancient haven for the galaxy's plants. Use the Clockwinder's gloves to turn the actions you take into looping, clockwork clones. They can do everything you can, from planting to cutting to throwing items through the air. Use their help to save the clock tower. And with this new mechanic, you're effortlessly creating your clones by simply acting them out, and then they just automatically mimic them afterwards. The idea here is you want to orchestrate a symphony of clones to work together to achieve efficient solutions to the Clockwinder's tasks. And if you're seeing what I'm seeing on screen here, I think you'll know whether or not this game is for you. Being honest, I'd have to sit down and try it. Again, maybe I'll leave like I did with Toy Trains completely blown away, but yeah, I mean, this right away seems like a complicated puzzle game. But speaking to this critically acclaimed gameplay, this one rode to VR's 2022 PC VR Game of the Year, and they're quoted by saying, "We were entranced by its puzzles." So that says a lot for sure. And then you've got Hardcore Gamer's 2022 VR Game of the Year, one of the year's best VR games, allowing players to get immersed in this small yet magical world. And then Upload VR said, "A true delight and gem of a puzzle game." Again, Upload VR, I'm sorry, with the Bat Game of the Year, I can't hold that to any real merit just because I hate that game. But this one here, having those two other credentials speaking to it, absolutely now has me really intrigued.
Rokar has fallen. In its place, monsters and twisted spirits now thrive.
The arcade-inspired VR hack and slash Until You Fall is currently 50% off. Over 1,500 people have rated it 4.07 out of 5 stars, with 75% giving this 4 or 5 out of 5, but 15% did give this 1 star. And I can totally speak to this from experience because I did play it all the way through on PSVR1, made it right to that last boss, did not beat it, but was totally in love with the game after playing it. But it was really weird to get used to at first, and this is using it on PSVR1, the old school mechanics. You actually had to time everything. There'd be these prompts on screen on where to block and when to slice for critical strike, and arrows on screen as well as to when to dodge. But the timing, the music actually just had this beautiful rhythm going on, and I started to catch on, and it was addictive, man. I mean, I really got into this game. This might be the time now to actually buy this game, especially if you've never played it before on PSVR1. And yes, it is another roguelike where you're playing these levels over and over, but there are a certain amount of stages, and there is a boss at the end that I got to, didn't quite beat him. But as you progress, getting these new weapons and new upgrades, it really does change the whole game completely. So it was a lot of fun. I can recommend it. I've not played this on PSVR2, and I was totally bummed again, no upgrade path. And I just have to mention, one of our community members, the Bad Tarot, piped in and said that they loved the game on the PSVR1, but it was really hard, and on the easiest difficulty they could barely pass the last boss, which I can attest to this because I couldn't, to be honest with you. They go on to say that the PSVR2 is so much better. Not only did they beat every difficulty, but they got the platinum, and it all has to do with the superior version of the PSVR2. They go on to say that this is an amazing game and ought to be judged by its functioning counterpart on the PSVR2. Awesome. Thanks so much, The Bad Tarot, for sharing that with us, because I'm totally stoked to want to try this game out yet again. PowerBeatsVR is a highly intense VR fitness app featuring a truly customized workout like no other, and it's 30% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 35% off total. Get ready. Box, dodge, and squat to the rhythm of upbeat music, and choose between official songs with leaderboards and dozens of professional full-day workouts. Or train with your own music using the auto generator and enjoy endless hours of rewarding and personalized exercise. Combine these workouts in custom playlists and experience even longer training sessions. Have a blast while burning calories and get fit in no time. Only 44 people have rated it 4.09 out of 5 stars, with 80% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. And what's really cool is they also offer the custom environments add-on pack at 30% off, but if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 35% off total. With this, you get 22 built-in Skybox environments, along with the option to use your own Skybox environments, which are 360-degree panorama files for countless training surroundings. You can find a myriad of those files online or simply use Google Street View or a 360-degree camera. With this DLC, there are virtually no limits on where you're going to work out in VR, and yet they offer more DLC with Song Pack 3 and it's 30% off, but if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 35% off total. And with this add-on pack, you'll immerse yourself in 12 brand new dynamic songs catering to fitness enthusiasts of all skill levels. Anyone in the comments that owns it, plays it, loves it, or hates it, please let us know your experience and whether or not we should grab this at that sale price.
You may be thinking, how did I end up here? The story began months ago.
Experience the vivid beauty and lurking dangers of the Caribbean in Pirates VR, Jolly Roger, and it's currently 50% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 55% off total. Over 160 people have rated it 3.76 out of 5 stars, with 66% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. Journey across a stunning, open-world Caribbean island filled with loot and secrets waiting to be discovered. Don't worry though, because you're not alone on this journey. Your hilarious parrot companion is always by your side, offering helpful advice, clues to solve puzzles, and cheeky commentary to lighten the mood. Get ready to climb rocky cliffs, rappel down ropes, swim through sunken grottos, and navigate light cave systems, all in beautifully rendered VR. Test your wit as you encounter a variety of intricate puzzles, unlock hidden passages to disarm ancient traps, and prepare for visceral combat as you face off against wild animals, undead skeletons, and ghostly pirates. That said, I've never played the game before, and I'm totally curious as to how long the game would take to complete, and whether or not the combat is physics-based fun, and if the puzzles are actually challenging. Anyone out there, if you own it, played it, loved it, or hate it, please let us know if we should grab this at that sale price. It's time to get on the most nostalgic gaming ride of your life in Pixel Ripped 1995, and it's 50% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 10% more, making it 60% off total. Over 440 people have rated it 4.58 out of 5 stars, with 91% of the audience giving it 4 or 5 out of 5. And for all of you that did grow up with the Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, TurboGrafx 16, all of that is referenced within this game, and so cleverly done without using any licensing whatsoever, yet every joke, every reference you'll totally get. After popping this in, not playing it for a couple of years on the PSVR 2, seeing the 4K HDR OLED pop immediately, I was blown away. Just wow, how vibrant, how clean, how crisp. Everything looked so cool, guys. And again, if you've never played this before, I gotta say, if you're my age and you grew up with the same systems, you absolutely need to get this game. Now that said, after doing all of that, I did revisit the game again and played the hardcore mode, and I have to say, I was really taken back by the difficulty on this, man. I mean, incredibly hard. In one of the missions fighting a boss, I was legit holding one controller with both hands, and then Old West style using a revolver, you know, just slamming that trigger with my hand constantly. Crazy shit, man. Seriously, I'm actually intimidated to go back because my thumbs were actually aching from pounding those buttons so hard. No joke. So that is the weird factor here. I wasn't expecting that. You know, that kind of turned me off from going back. My thumbs were literally aching, you know, playing the classic Nintendo type Super Nintendo games. But all the nostalgic feel and vibe and gameplay and all that's really cool. So I do recommend this at the sale price for sure if you've never played before. But if you have played this before, just upgrade it for free right now just to see the vibrance, the HDR 4K OLED display, man. You can totally tell immediately how much that clarity and those colors really pop. But I do have to say, now that I've done this again, I do wish the PS5 DualSense controller had lights on it like the PS4 DualShock controller. You know, there's little white lights on your PSVR 2 Sense controllers there. You barely see them. But I'm surprised they didn't do that with the DualSense. I'd rather use that DualSense controller playing a game like this. Truly, I would. If you love the Rock Band or Guitar Hero, I highly recommend you check out Drums Rock Deluxe Edition because it's 40% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 45% off total. Almost 1,500 people have rated it 4.28 out of 5 stars, with 79% of the audience giving it 4 or 5 out of 5. And if you're unsure whether or not the game is for you, definitely check out that Drums Rock free demo right now. And that's what I did, and I was able to get an actual sense of flavor of what the game felt like, and I was totally impressed with the actual haptics on the controllers scores, as well as the headset haptics. I didn't actually check out the eye tracking for the score, didn't play it enough. But yes, this is sit down, pick up and play, instant action. Aside from the arcade aspect, the game actually does feature a full-fledged 4-hour campaign, and then fight 2 bosses along the way. Very cool. The game does keep getting all of this love and support, so much DLC going on, and speaking of which, in the deluxe edition, you are getting the Power Metal music pack. Specifically, you're getting Hearts on Fire by Hammerfall, King for a Day by Battle Beast, Blood of the Elves by Blind Guardian, When Angels Kill by Fifth Angel, Higher by Northtail, Twilight Force by Twilight Force. And with the Undertale DLC, in that you're getting Hopes and Dreams, Megalovania. As well, you're getting some other goodies here, such as the Undertale drums, drumsticks, hands, and the exclusive Undertale scene. And what's really cool is getting that as well unlocks this extra difficulty mode for all songs going forward. So I do feel that is one of the most necessary DLCs to get for Drums Rock. And you're also getting the latest Smashfest music pack, which includes Silver Tongue by Alter Bridge, Army of the Night by Powerwolf, Pisces by Ginger, Keelhauled by Ailstorm, Puts Force by Gloryhammer, While Love Died by Northward, Stardust by Delane, Dost Elft Gadot, I'm sorry for butchering that, somebody I cannot pronounce, Master of the Universe by Angus Mixix. That ought to keep you busy for a while, I would think. And if you're still unsure whether or not this game is for you, you should totally check out the Drums Rock demo on the PlayStation Store itself. Ever wondered what it's like to be an electrician? Well, wonder no more, because Electrician Simulator VR is currently 50% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 55% off total. Almost 100 people have rated it 4.04 out of 5 stars, with 76% giving it 4 or 5 out of 5, but 17% did give this 1 star. And I gotta say, I'm really curious to see what this game actually feels like using the natively compatible and incredibly cool bHaptics tack suit and tack sleeves, because I'm assuming you'll physically feel jolted when things go awry. Awesome. Repair outlets and switches, lay cables in the walls, and connect electrical appliances. But don't forget about the fuses, because an encounter with electricity can be very dangerous. Buy the necessary items to perform tasks in different ways. Install lamps, replace bulbs, but just be careful not to break anything or you'll have to pay out of your own pocket. And they now have all the DLC individually on sale, starting with Toys Repair, and it's 40% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 45% off total. Dive into a whole new kind of repair work, fixing electronic toys. In this playful DLC, you'll troubleshoot and repair quirky gadgets like a remote-controlled robot, levitating drone, and even a haunted EMF detector. Yes, ghosts might be involved. The next DLC, Smart Devices, is currently 35% off, but if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 40% off total. Learn how to work with wireless connections by installing smart home tech. Set up motion sensors, smart switches, RGB bulbs, and much more in fully interactive environments. And the last DLC, Skin Pack, is currently 40% off, but if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 45% off total. This pack includes new visual skins for your hands, cable bundles, cable detector, and the in-game watch. Now, if you want to get the base game bundled with all of that DLC, you can get the complete edition, and it's 35% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 40% off total. Very interesting, and I'm definitely going to have to get my hands on this one just because it has the bHaptics tack suit and tack sleeve compatibility. Rampage through a sprawling cityscape, smashing buildings, tossing cars, and leaving a trail of destruction in Gorilla Attack. And it's 70% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 75% off total. Over 120 people have rated it 3.22 out of 5 stars, with just under half giving it 4 or 5 out of 5, but a quarter of them did give this 1 star. And to my surprise, this is one of the natively compatible games for the bHaptics tack suit and tack sleeves, allowing you to feel every smash and bash in your arms and body as you devastate the city. Now, I cannot speak to this game from personal experience, but I can say I highly recommend you guys check out Without Parole's quick 2 or 3 minute review on the game. And I'm going to leave a link in the description because I do think he does an excellent job and totally informs you of what you should expect if you decide to get this game at that sale price. Gorilla Attack and Bridge the Gap are now bundled together at 75% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 80% off total. Introducing yet another take on the Lemmings formula with modern VR mechanics, this is Bridge the Gap. Only 27 people have rated it 3.7 out of 5 stars, with 59% giving this 4 or 5 out of 5, but 11% did give this 1 star. And the whole premise of the game is that you're a friendly spirit entity tasked with helping these little monkeys find their way through the mysterious Bricklands. You must create safe passages between portals as you lead the monkeys to safety, helping them overcome all environmental obstacles along the way. And this touts to have 5 unique settings with 80 varied levels, with more coming soon. And even though the game's been out for just a little while, I've only heard great things about it so far. Anyone in the comments section, if you own it, played it, loved it, or hate it, please let us know whether or not we should grab this at that sale price.
Welcome to Electrician Simulator VR.
If you want to get Electrician Simulator VR and Gorilla Attack bundled together, it's currently 50% off, but if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 55% off total. Or you can get Electrician Simulator VR bundled with Bridge the Gap at 50% off, but if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 55% off total. Now, if you want to get both Crave and Electrician Simulator VR, it's currently bundled together at 35% off, but if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 40% off total. Step into the underground world of caves in the most realistic VR spelunking game in Crave. Almost 180 people have rated it 4.49 out of 5 stars, with 89% giving it 4 or 5 out of 5. Mark your own clues on cave walls with chalk as you clear your path of obstacles with a hammer and climb walls and ceilings using ice axes. Just be sure to maintain your gear to ensure its reliability. No cheap horror tricks here, just a mysterious and immersive cave atmosphere where you'll have to overcome environmental challenges such as steep climbs, narrow tunnels, and water. Interesting, I truly wonder if this will trigger the claustrophobia in some of us. Anyone out there, if you own this, played it, loved it, or hate it, please let us know if we should grab this at that sale price. Take the traditional jigsaw puzzle formula to the next level with Puzzling Places Starter Edition, and it's 30% off. Over 1,200 people have rated the base game 4.72 out of 5 stars, with 83% of the audience giving it 4 or 5 out of 5. And the starter edition includes the base game along with Summer Dive, monthly pack number 16, beta pack, and number 19, Snowy Sights. And what makes Puzzling Places so unique is that you're putting together these hyper-realistic miniatures of beautiful places from around the globe. Enter the meditative flow of puzzling and enjoy each place coming alive with their unique and immersive soundscapes. This is a modern take on an age-old pastime that's fun for the whole family thanks to its simple gameplay and easy controls. The game features 25 plus unique puzzles created from detailed photogrammetry 3D scans of real locations. And each puzzle is available in 25, 50, 100, 200, and 400 pieces. And as you're seeing here is a complete list of all the different puzzles you are getting in this base game. I already heard the game was photorealistic looking to begin with, and then I heard they had this patch that made it even better looking, sharper, I'm not too sure what. And if you didn't know, the game is cross-platform. You can play with friends on the Meta Quest. They get to use hand tracking, which is ideal, but I haven't heard any news of us getting that feature on the PSVR2, but here's hoping. But just to show you really quick all of the DLC that's currently available for Puzzling Places. This is incredible, honestly. I think there's like 30 some different packs going on. So yes, this is a testament to the amount of love and support for this game, and it continues to grow. Now, if you're already sold and want to get even more than what the starter edition offers, you can get the premium edition at 30% off. This premium edition includes the base game along with Behind High Walls, Monastery of Battalia Day and Night, Ancient Egypt, Variety Pack Volume 2, The Wave, Summer Dive, World Heritage Tour, New York City, and a sunny stroll in Barcelos. And heads up, you can get a free trial for Puzzling Places if you log into the PlayStation app or log on directly to the PlayStation Store's website and download it from there. Ping Pong Perfection is already on PSVR2 in Racket Fury Table Tennis VR, and it's currently 50% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 9% more, making it 59% off total. Over 520 people have rated it 4.57 out of 5 stars, with 91% giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. But I gotta say, it plays beautifully with a native 120 frames per second, making the entire experience butter smooth. Like, I own the original version on the PSVR1 and played the crap out of it, but I'm telling you, it is the exact same game, but on the PSVR2 with all the bells and whistles again.
The lighting actually reflects where I can see scuffs on the actual rubber. That is so cool. Even on the back, on the black there, even just little rubber indents. I don't know if you guys can see that on your screen. I absolutely can. Even the edges of the ping pong paddle, I know, check it out, but that you can see the layers of wood, thin wood just glued in the middle. Like, that's what I mean by realistic. It's not just a solid piece. They made this look like a ping pong paddle. Like, literally, I'm adjusting the table like this, and it's keeping it on the same plane. Now I can just move my controller up and down. All right, I'm going to practice. I think we just sit here and rally. Oh. Oh, man. Oh, man. Instantly. I love it. No joke. Oh, man. That is so cool. Come on, Zen. Oh, that is so cool.
The 120 frames per second, that full room scale VR where I can walk around my entire table. The perfect tracking where I can bend over, crouch, use my paddle not even looking at the table, and everything is working as if I have a real ping pong table in front of me. So simple, but so good. You can play between arcade and simulation. Most will use the default arcade and love it, but I gotta push you to go simulation as it really shows you how rewarding it is to get good at the game and actually feel like you're playing ping pong in real life. The 2-player online is absolutely awesome if you have a friend to play with, but there is no cross-play from what I understand. That would be the only negative if you didn't have any friends and you were waiting to play somebody online. I really don't know how popular it is now to go online and see if somebody's playing, but if you had just one friend that you could, coordinate and play with, whoa, what a blast this would be, honestly.
Spike it, that's awesome. Incoming spatula. Oh, yes.
Oh, no!
This is for the tie.
I still won, though.
No, you haven't won yet. Oh, you're making me... Yes!
Here we go. This is for the tie.
I cannot let you win. Ready for this?
Yes.
Oh, shit! That's awesome. Oh, set 3. Right, that's not the full match. This is the comeback.
Become a god and save your residents from the enemy in this VR tower defense game, Towers and Powers, and it's 50% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 55% off total. Over 230 people have rated it 4.4 out of 5 stars, with 88% of the audience giving it 4 or 5 out of 5. I did already buy this game on a previous sale, so I really need to load it up and see what it's all about, but from the PlayStation Store description it says, in Towers and Powers you'll find yourself in an ancient land surrounded by the beautiful landscape, elegant buildings, mythical creatures, and chaos. These gorgeous places are under attack. As one of the gods, you'll have to save your residents and keep their islands from falling. In this game you're going to create your team of peasants, priests, warriors, and magicians, decide which buildings they need, use your powers to defend allies and trap foes. Awaiting you on your island, you'll find economic and military tasks to accomplish, exciting battles and travels to undertake, and loyal worshippers, cruel enemies, and monsters to encounter. And I gotta say, every time this goes on sale, the community has only said very positive things about this game. Soar through the skies like never before and restore balance to the universe with Sky Climb. And it's 50% off. Over 120 people have rated it 4.32 out of 5 stars, with 80% of the audience giving it 4 or 5 out of 5. The first-person adventure brings classic platforming to VR, featuring an intuitive arm-based locomotion mechanism that allows you to fling yourself from one cube to another in low gravity. From what I'm seeing here in the trailer, you can create your own levels, which is really cool. I'm not too sure whether or not you can actually post them online for others to compete on. There is a single-player campaign spanning 7 unique worlds, which includes a total of 65 levels, complete with 7 boss encounters and power-ups to help you along the way. As well, there is a multiplayer championship mode supporting up to 6 players in races and hoop collecting. You can also personalize your climber with a ton of customization options to help stand out from the crowd. Leap into thrilling warp tunnels and experience the fast-paced action of Space Drop, and it's 20% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 25% off total. Only 13 people have rated this so far, 4 out of 5 stars, with 76% of the audience giving it 4 or 5 out of 5. Each level presents an adrenaline-pumping sequence in which you simply fly through warp tunnels while dodging obstacles, collecting power-ups, shooting down asteroids, and much more. Get more shields to recover after hitting those obstacles, grab an invincibility pickup, snatch some energy from ammunition, and learn how to use these power-ups effectively in order to dominate the leaderboards. And get this, you can actually create your own levels and experience endless replayability with the custom level generator. Now, if you want to see what the game actually looks and plays like in a full level scenario, I highly encourage you to check out cusman's gameplay footage, as I'm going to leave a link in the description if you guys want to check that out. A virus has infected over 95% of the world's population, turning the infected into meat-hungry walkers in Survive, and it's currently 20% off. The game does have a free upgrade from the PSVR 1, and apparently the PSVR 2 version is substantially better all around. Over 320 people rated it 3.74 out of 5 stars, with 66% giving this 4 or 5 out of 5, but 14% did give this 1 star. Play single player or co-op with up to 4 players in this open world survival horror with over 18 hours of campaign that will have you progressively level up to unlock new rewards while searching for food, water, and of course lots of ammo. The missions will take you through vast levels, including many buildings that are fully explorable for scavenging loot, pushing the player to a non-linear approach to gameplay with huge free roaming maps. With 3 game modes in total, you can also play the Trials, featuring Classic Horde mode, Defense mode, and Escape mode. The third trial is Survival, where you'll be constantly leveling, crafting, feeding, and fighting. What's really cool is that there is no HUD in the game at all, having you use your military tablet for menu options, along with all realistic weapon reloads and holstering your weapons. Anyone in the comments, if you owned it, played it, loved it, or hated it, please let us know whether or not we should grab this at that sale price. The completely rebranded Among Us 3D VR finally allows flat screen players to participate in the VR environment, and it's currently 30% off. Almost 1,700 people have rated it 3.36 out of 5 stars, with 57% giving it 4 or 5 out of 5, but 31% did give this 1 star. The classic game now returns with a massive amount of players flooding the gates, and with this, a new game mode called The Infected. Quite simply, the infected try to catch and infect all the crewmates to expand their ranks before the crewmates can finish a set number of tasks. And the other major difference from the original VR version is that all cosmetics are now purchased using Stardust. This is heavily dependent upon the social interaction, where you're going to be tasked, quite literally, with doing tasks at the same time as everybody else, but you never know who's chosen as the imposter. That might be you actually one round, and the idea here is that you're supposed to do your tasks like everyone else, but at the same time deduce who is the murderer going around murdering everybody. That is the very quick gist of it. There's a lot more actual mechanics to the game that I can't speak to because I've never played it, but you can totally check online. There's so many people that have covered this. Play with a friend in co-op as they use the TV to help you find the lost Seeker eggs in Seeker My Shadow, and it's 50% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 55% off total. Only 41 people have rated it 3.22 out of 5 stars, with most people giving it 3 stars. The premise of the game is that you step in the shoes of a mountain-sized giant, Spirit, and your goal is to lead and assist a tiny yet courageous seeker named Kippo through a collection of casual puzzle levels set in a serene and imaginative surroundings. This is a single player and local co-op game, where you get to explore the diverse set of compelling levels and discover the story by overcoming casual yet demanding puzzles as a single player or as an asymmetric cooperative with your mate. Locate and retrieve the lost seeker eggs and collect the concealed cards from each level while engaging in the exciting, puzzling, and family-friendly scenery that send you on an immersive adventure. Again, anyone who's played this game, especially in the couch co-op mode, please let us know whether or not we should grab this at that awesome sale price.
But hey, come on, don't get spooked now, newcomer.
Cave Digger 2 Dig Harder is a 1 to 4 player VR action-adventure game set in the Woodland Valleys, and it's 50% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 55% off total. Over 220 people have rated it 3.42 out of 5 stars, with 57% giving it 4 or 5 out of 5, but 16% did give this 1 star. Start with a pickaxe in one hand and nothing in the other. Excavate the bedrock, reap the rewards of Mother Earth, and trade the mined valuables for new gadgets, travels, funky wild fashion, and more. Cave Digger 2 is a 1 to 4 player VR action-adventure game set in wildland valleys, where you discover old mines, nautical caves, and ruins of ancient civilizations inspired by Western, diesel punk, and Lovecraftian themes. Explore the pristine lands, loot its riches, and unravel a mystery linked to a great explorer. As you go, it's best to keep a 6-shooter nearby, just in case. Your goal is simply to mine and carry loot back to the surface the best you can for your mission assigners. With the surplus reward that you get, you can buy new things like upgrading your dependable pickaxe with a shinier look, and faster digging rate too, of course. The story has you follow the same path where a great explorer has once wandered. Who is this hardy explorer? Why did he come to these valleys? And where is he now? The answers to these and more lie in the depths of the valleys. The story has multiple endings, each revealing a different side of it. Find the scattered comic pages to a tale of greed, eldritch power, and secrets beyond space and time. Who the Wanderer is and why he did what he did in the valleys became clear in the end. But is it really the end? Very cool. This seems much bigger than the first game if you've ever played that. That was on PSVR 1. Speaking of which, Cave Digger VR is currently 50% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 55% off total. Over 560 people rated it 3.45 out of 5 stars, with 54% giving it 4 or 5 out of 5, but 19% did give this 1 star. And all I remember about the first one is that you're constantly going down this shaft and then you're hitting the walls, collecting as much gems or rocks as you can. There is an underground area with the track. There is a track on the outside that goes around a bit, but there wasn't much going on that I remember. But what surprised me after reading the description here is that this game did have 7 endings to begin with, and I was like, what? I don't remember that. But I did play through it once and it was okay back in the day, so I can't recommend this for PSVR 2. I am very curious about Cave Digger 2 though. FANTAVISION was originally released on the PlayStation 2 and is back on the PSVR 2, and it's currently 60% off right now. Over 140 people rated this 3.3 out of 5 stars with a completely mixed bag of reviews here. But that said, just speaking from experience, I did buy the game during launch. It may have been patched since. When I popped it in, I wasn't initially impressed with the colors and the vibrance. There's just something about the fireworks that seemed a bit really fuzzy, and even the backgrounds themselves, to me, the buildings and whatnot, didn't appear this super clarity that I'm used to after playing like Horizon and Pavlov and stuff. But either way, the game is a puzzle-based game like a Columns or something like that, where you're making these connections to the same colored fireworks that you're hitting there and you're exploding them. So I can see the addictive factor here if you're into those types of games. But because I was so excited with the PSVR 2 and then I dropped to this, I felt like, no, I'm going back to Pavlov like ASAP. So I didn't give this more than probably an hour and a half. But I do know there are a lot of people back in the day that did enjoy the actual experience. So this would be the way to play it in full VR, I would think. So yeah, sorry, I cannot personally recommend this game just from personal experience. Awesome Asteroids pays homage to the arcade classics, and it's currently 60% off right now. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 15% more, making it 75% off total. Over 150 people have rated it 3.2 out of 5 stars, with another mixed bag of reviews here. Quite simply, you'll blast through waves of asteroids using lasers, rockets, and Gatling guns while trying to keep bases and other structures from taking damage. Grab shield power-ups to charge your shields, which will protect you from asteroids and mines. You'll need to take out enemy ships before they can destroy your bases while avoiding their defenses. So that is super simple. Whether or not it's fun using the HOTAS, I do believe this game was touting to have the eye tracking, so you just look and it automatically locks on to fire. But yeah, again, I'm not too sure whether or not it's fun to play. Again, anyone in the comment section that wants to speak to it, please do. Prepare to enter the mesmerizing world of Corridor VR, and it's 25% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 8% more, making it 33% off total. Only 19 people have rated it 3.68 out of 5 stars, with 66% giving it 4 or 5 out of 5, but 27% did give this 1 or 2 stars. In this captivating journey, you'll explore a series of interconnected corridors that will test your wits and agility, each with its unique style and challenges. What makes Corridor VR truly stand out is the ability to shift between the normal world and the mysterious mirror world. This dual dimension feature allows you to navigate the corridors and unlock hidden pathways by leveraging the differences between the two realms. Anyone in the comments that has played it, loved it, or hate it, please let us know in the comment section whether we should pick this up at that sale price. Operation Serpens is a fast-paced action-adventure game made for VR, and it's 50% off right now. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 55% off total. Over 140 people have rated this 3.15 out of 5 stars, with a completely mixed bag of reviews here. Join the unit of elite soldiers and choose your preferred gun to take down the ranks of the evil Snakes organization to the very top. Just remember to dodge the vast amounts of incoming bullets in order not to fail your mission. Play the single-player campaign, zombie survival mode, and co-op maps with up to 4 players, each mission bringing something new into play. Very cool that you can play up to 4 players in the actual campaign to begin with. That is awesome. Again, anyone in the comment section that owns it, has played it, please let us know your thoughts on whether or not we should grab this at the sale price. Participate in the hit TV series and the VR tailored adventure in Survivorman VR The Descent, and it's 50% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 55% off total. Over 160 people have rated it 2.82 out of 5 stars with another complete mixed bag of reviews. Again, you are participating in an actual episode of the hit TV series, and you're supposed to survive an Arctic nightmare as the sole survivor of a helicopter crash on a freezing mountain. Lost, cold, and with darkness closing in, can you build a fire and shelter to brave the elements? Test your survival skills in Survivorman VR The Descent, an authentic and dynamic adventure in the breathtaking Canadian Arctic. Face real-world extreme challenges that push your intellect, emotions, and physical abilities to the limit. Under the expert guidance of legendary survivalist Les Shroud, rely on your skills and resourcefulness to save your own life. In over 6 intense levels, confront challenges that test your survival skills and inch you closer to rescue. From crafting snowshoes to glissading down slopes, navigating glacial crevices, building hunting traps, rappelling cliffs, and keeping the fire burning, every move counts. Follow the river to potential rescue, but watch out for polar bears. Wah! This claims to have photorealistic exploration where you experience the extremes of mountain survival in a stunningly immersive first-person environment. Monitor body temperature, fatigue, and hunger using a convenient wrist-mounted HUD-like display to survive harsh conditions. Project Wingman Frontline 59 is a flat-screen game with 6 VR add-on missions, and it's currently 30% off. Over 2,200 people have rated it 2.79 out of 5 stars, with 45% giving this 1 star, but 34% did give this 5 out of 5. I do know there was like a huge fan base for Project Wingman, but from what I'm hearing, the graphics themselves are not that great. The actual fun factor isn't there for the 6 missions that they provide. It feels really short. But yeah, everyone everywhere has been talking about how let down they felt. Anyone in the comments section, if you had a positive experience with this game, please pipe in. Ever wonder if pigeons are real? Become the infamous bird in VR Pigeons, and it's 50% off right now. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 55% off total. Over 120 people rated it 2.6 out of 5 stars, with 57% giving this 1 or 2 stars, but 26% did give this 5 out of 5. In this game, you're gonna channel your inner pigeon. Bob your head like a pigeon to use the unique movement controls to slip into your pigeon self. Go out into the world and find a rooftop. Wait for the granny to throw some bread. Eat as much bread as possible. Bread is life. And through this, you will unlock and discover 4 different levels, and the premise is to literally protect your bread from other pigeons while you're collecting bread and using power-ups and map shortcuts to be the fastest out of all of them. Anyone that's actually played this game, please let us know whether or not we should grab this on sale. The next game was Upload VR's Game of the Year for 2022, but I personally think it's the worst game on PSVR2. What the bat? And it's 60% off. Almost 200 people have rated it 3.86 out of 5 stars, with 67% of the audience giving it 4 or 5 out of 5. That said, my experience totally different. I personally feel that this game actually hurts how people view games in VR and what to expect, because man, I gotta say, this was absolutely atrocious when it comes to gameplay and fun factor. I mean, every level, and there are 100 of them, and I went through the entire game for everybody. I actually covered this, you can see a thumbnail right there, literally showing you what to expect if you go to buy this game. I honestly don't think I can recommend this to people with children. I felt that, yes, everything was really lackluster is the best way to describe it. Even though the game worked, you know, the controls did work, I would give this 2 out of 5. If something was glitchy or if the game bugged out, it would have scored a 1, but everything about it I really disliked. Again, with over 100 unique levels of slapstick comedy and craziness, that's not what I felt whatsoever. Brushing my teeth with a bat, you know, I'm not laughing out loud. That was a task, literally, out of the 100 things. Including 9 chapters with unique settings and baseball challenges. No, they're not baseball challenges. You're literally just swinging your bat and it hits the ball, and there's really no accuracy going on whatsoever that I found, truly. With approximately 4 hours of playtime, but remember to take breaks. Yeah, I don't even know, like within the first 20 minutes, I knew I wasn't going to like the game, just being honest. And I was going in pretty open-minded. So yes, I highly encourage you, please check out my video. And that game was given to me as a free review key. Again, thank you so much, Triban, for sending me a review key, because I wouldn't have checked it out and I wouldn't have known what to expect other than what Upload VR gave this Game of the Year for 2022. Suicide Guy is back in VR in Suicide Guy VR Deluxe Edition, and it's 67% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 72% off total. Over 280 people have rated it 2.4 out of 5 stars, with just under half the audience giving this 1 star, but 22% did give this 5 out of 5. This is a puzzle-based game where I believe you're always falling asleep and you're trying to wake up from your nightmare by solving the puzzle and essentially committing suicide, I think. The actual store description says, find out the new custom levels that take full advantage of VR. Will your heart be able to take all these deaths at once? It's a first-person puzzle game like no other, where you'll have to find the way out of your own dreams using objects and tools that you'll obtain during your nap. The This touts that it features new awesome levels that take full advantage of VR, full body locomotion, total physics control of all items, new incredible moves, be able to pick up items, throw them, activate mechanisms, and even burp. I'm assuming there was a flat screen game for this, and this is the VR description. A driving system designed for VR, teleport movement style extra option, and an important mission to accomplish. And the deluxe version just simply states that it was redesigned for PSVR2, taking advantage of the new controls, but really not much more specific than that. Mindscapes VR takes you on a sensory journey through 5 unique minigames, all controlled with your eyes and hands, and it's currently 25% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 25% more, making it 50% off total. Only 15 people have rated it 2.47 out of 5 stars, with just over half of them giving it 1 star, but over a quarter of them did give this 5 out of 5. And of course, I couldn't find any official trailer for this, but immediately went to Cusman's channel and found gameplay footage there, and have left a link in my description if you guys want to check that out. As always, thanks Cusman, you totally rock for sharing your PSVR2 experiences with us. Those 5 mini games include ball sorting, where you match and sort balls into floating capsules based on color. Gaze Escape has you guide a ball using your gaze and dodge bouncing enemies. Instrument Guessing has you listen closely and select the correct instrument based on the sound. Pixel Painting has you paint each square to recreate colorful pixel art. And Find 10 has you quickly combine number tiles to make exact totals of 10. I can't say I'm going to run out and get this one, but anyone in the comments, if you own it, played it, loved it, or hate it, please let us know if we should grab this at that sale price. If you're like me, staying up at night and watching the creepy TikTok or YouTube compilation videos, then you may already be familiar with the SCP series of videos that deal with securing, containing, and protecting us from dangerous creatures that cannot be eliminated. This game is based off one in particular, and this is called SCP-087, the Stairwell Horror VR, and it's currently 70% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 75% off total. Only 18 people have rated it so far, 2.17 out of 5 stars, with over half the audience giving this 1 star, and the rest completely mixed there. SCP-087 refers to an anomalous structure that appears to resemble a stairwell. Attempts to reach the end of the stairwell have been unsuccessful, with subjects reporting an oppressive atmosphere upon entering the structure. Auditory hallucinations, specifically the sound of distant and distressed voices, are frequently reported by those who explore. Light sources do not function effectively beyond a few meters within the structure, as the surrounding darkness appears to absorb any illumination. The footage you're seeing here is from the official Switch trailer, so it doesn't properly represent the VR version, but anyone out there, if you own this, played it, loved it, or hate it, please let us know if we should grab this at that half-off price. And the last bit of DLC that's on sale is featured for Epic Roller Coasters. You can get the base game for free, essentially, and then buy the add-on levels afterwards. And to my surprise, this is yet another one of the over 20 games that is natively compatible for the bHaptics tack suit and tack sleeves, giving you the ultimate in immersion by having your body feel the rattle of the coaster and the recoil of any of the guns in the game. Very cool. Now that said, they're only offering 1 DLC, but this is the one to get with 27 rides in one bundle, and it's called the Game On deal at 15% off. And with those 27 roller coaster maps, you are getting 14 roller coaster carts. And just to speak to this bundle, here are all of the roller coasters that you're getting in this bundle. Twilight, Haunted Castle, North Pole, Oasis, Great Canyon, Tijuana Volcano, Space Station, Wyvern Siege, Snowland, Halloween, Lost Forest, Dread Blood, Neon Rider, Armageddon, Stonehenge, Hidden Paradise, Kalamutu, Antarctica, Yellowstone, Bled, Brazilian Dunes, Rally, Dynasty Dash, Coliseum, Lady Tough Adventure, Epic Dreamland, The Red Hood Girl, and Elves Workshop of Wonders. And that ought to keep you busy for a while. And that is all of the games and DLC for the latest hot deal sale, but don't forget to check out this year's Black Friday sale on the PlayStation Store for 16 more PSVR2 games going on at the exact same time, ending December 1st. That said, if you want to see more content like this, don't forget to hit that like, hype, and or subscribe button to help spread the word and get even more people playing the future of console gaming, which of course is PlayStation.